I had an experience recently where I went to go have deadlift day in my gym. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you turn on your playlist and then a song pops on, and for whatever reason, it just makes you want to cry. It was just me. I don't know. But whenever I have an experience like that, I can usually feel it start to, rumble up from my innards and get to my heart and then rise to right behind my eyes. And I'm like, oh, there's something here that I should pay attention to. Or just not even that deep, just like, I'd feel good to cry right now. And so, I was in my warm up. So I just kept going through my warm up, whatever, song ended, emotion kind of passed. I was debating just continuing on with my workout. But then I was like, I think a good cry sounds nice. So I turned the song back on. Am I the only one that does that? Or just like play the song on repeat just to like keep crying because it feels good. Anyway, I think anytime that happens, you're just needing to get something out that doesn't necessarily need your mind or your brain to analyze or figure out where it's coming from or why or what does it mean. It's like, whatever, just cry, have a good cry, move on with your day. So I did that. I had a good cry. I went to my yoga mat, my favorite place to cry. And holy cow, my body is very tight and tense, especially since giving birth. Unrecognizable from yoga Lacey many years ago. Um, but I noticed something in all of that where I laid down and I could feel my consciousness like wanting to hook onto something. Like the space. Because, my son is 8 months old now, and I'm like constantly paying attention, right? I mean, of course. And then I have a billion other things I'm tracking in my attention. And I feel like attention dysregulation that's out of habit can be pretty predictable. You can feel like your attention wants to land on something because it's used to just having something to chew on all the time. It's just this habit of having something in front of you. But the feeling of my consciousness wanting to hook onto something, like that feels different to me. It's the opposite of that feels like freedom. You just have total open space beyond your mind, even beyond your body. It's just free. Your mind's not trying to capture anything. Your attention is easy, it's restful. And when your mind doesn't capture your attention and your attention can rest, and it's like consciousness opens. The awareness that you have that like you're here and you're aware when it's not assuming the form of anything else in your mind. It's not assuming the form of what your attention is taking. It's not assuming the form of your thoughts. It's just free. Man, it's like the best feeling. It's the best feeling, and I haven't had it in a long time. My consciousness keeps hooking onto things in my attention and in my mind, and I want to say like other dimensions. I don't know. Because, the mind can be so multidimensional where like thoughts, yes, about the future or the past or whatever, but sometimes it feels more like time traveling up there. So it feels reductionist to just say my attention or my consciousness wants to hook onto a thought, because I feel like we time travel in our bodies a lot. So it wants to hook onto all kinds of different things and places. And the feeling of resting is such an interesting one in our culture today, isn't it? Because we feel like resting could be watching a show or scrolling on our phone or whatever. But our consciousness is just sucked in. It's hooked on to where our attention is, what our mind is doing, the time traveling element of things, what's going on in the body. It's just like hooked. And it's hooked on things we don't even know it's hooked on. All the subconscious stuff too. I once heard a metaphor of like on your phone, if you never actually close the apps, you just exit out of them, but you don't go through and like swipe up and close them. That it's like that. We just have all these like running apps in the background that we don't even know are there. Like those are the things that like hook the consciousness, right? And to be able to just not have any of that, it's the best. So I was laying on my yoga mat, and it's so hard for me to rest right now because I've been on edge with my son in like a good way, not a bad way. Just a biologically natural way where my brain every 5 seconds goes, was that the baby? And so resting is complicated for me right now. But my husband had my son out on a walk, and he had the dogs too, which is like a huge feat. He's very popular in our town because he walks 5 dogs and he carries an infant on his back in his hiking carrier. So he's a sight to be seen out there. But it gives me a minute to try to rest. Try to rest. See, there it is. There it is right there. Like it's not going to happen if you're trying, right? The effort, does it ever stop? I could just feel the weight I've been carrying. I could feel my consciousness just with all these hooks on it, like a little coat hanger, hook and 100 different coats of different things I put on throughout time. And the ability to just put it down, it's not there right now. Was that? It sounded like that pause was going to lead into something profound, but no, it's just I'm not there right now. Like I can't put that stuff down right now, and so I'm just noticing that, and I feel like my mind and my attention are kind of like my son right now, who is crawling and pulling to stand and things like that, and like he's possessed by it. It's like all he can do. It's like it's just constant. Just gotta pull to stand. Gotta do it. It's like this compulsive have to do it. To the point where like I'm putting him down for a nap or sleep or something, and he's laying down on his, on his belly, and then he gets up on all fours like, I gotta try. And I just put my hand on his back like, it's okay, you don't have to try right now. And then he just collapses back down. And then he pushes up again, and I put my hand on his back, and he collapses back down. We do this like 20 times before he's just like, okay, I guess I'll just go to sleep. That's what my brain feels like right now. And my body. It's like, but I got to do something, right? It's like, no, you don't. Shh. It's like, I got to try. No, you don't. Shh. And I've talked a lot on the podcast before about how I move too fast and I get ahead of myself and go, go, go. And it's like that internal hand. Just shh. No, Lacey. No, you don't. Sit down. Have a seat, Lacey. It's kind of nice, actually, to feel that. I use my weighted blanket for that. My big weighted blanket. Just shh. It's okay. Stop it. So I don't know if any of you can relate to this feeling But it usually comes up when I'm like waiting for something or anticipating something or I'm excited about something where it's like, I feel like I have to do more right now. It's like, no, you don't actually. And doing more doesn't bring you any closer to what it is that's coming. We think like doing more can make time move faster to get us to the thing that might be causing some anxiety or whatever that thing is. Sometimes we don't even know. But doing more doesn't actually change the way time moves. Even though it feels like time flies when you're doing a lot, right? But there's still only 24 hours in a day. So I have to ask myself a lot, like, what am I missing when I'm doing that? What am I missing? Because that unhooking of the consciousness and the resting of the attention and letting things be easy inside, that's when you can be actually present in your life. And so all of this like hooking and focus and all of that, it takes away the actual experience of being here. And that sucks. It's always such a bummer to remember that again. And then I remember, and then I'm back, and I'm like, oh yeah, shh, sit down, Lacey. So this is just kind of in spirit of this week's topic, forgetting and remembering, still doing it. Maybe finding that whatever feels like the hand on the back for you, and maybe try, or I use that word again, maybe allow yourself to rest without anything. Just like to get a baseline, like where are you at, So like just lay down somewhere with your eyes closed and watch how fast the impulse comes up to do something. Set a little timer. For me, it's like 2 minutes right now. That's where I'm at. But like just, get a baseline of yourself. Where am I at? Can I actually rest? Do I remember what resting is? Have I ever actually even rested before? I know I have, which is bittersweet because then I have something to compare to. Sometimes like that ignorance is bliss thing. But just allow yourself some time to see what it's like to rest. And if you're like me and you go to do that and it just doesn't really feel like it's happening because the habits are deep now at this point, that's okay. Just come back again. Just like my hand on my son's back. Just shh. Just keep coming back. Keep remembering. And then when you do, it just gets easier and easier, and your time in the present gets more and more. Because being present with that unhooked consciousness, the freedom to experience what's here without all that pressure, it's the best feeling. It doesn't last because this is life, but it's a good feeling. It's worth checking out every now and then. All right. This is just a nice little aside from what we're looking at this week of how it's showing up in my life right now in the process of unbecoming. Always in the process of unbecoming. All right, I'll see you next time. You can find more of this work at theunbecominghub.com. Until next time.